What's up, my geeks? Jeffrey Powers here from Geekazine, Think Magazine, Put in a Geek, and I have some great news. I have now affiliated myself with the friends over at AEjuice, so I can create some better videos out of there. It's all about getting better looking videos, cool effects, cool sound effects, and everything like that. Now, I'm fairly accustomed to these types of systems before, as I've bought individual packs in the past to do things like if I needed an After Effects template to do something, if I needed some transition or a sound effect, I would get the individual packs, but I've never done something like AEjuice. Let me show you to you really quick. This is an all-in-one pack, and they always have these great deals coming for all the packs that come out, and of course new packs are always coming out with transitions, with lower thirds, with sound effects, with LUTs. If you want to put those fun little captions on your video, like the lower third, like they do in some of these reels and shorts and things like that, you got a pack for that and a lot more. And I'm going to be experimenting with them. But to begin with, I'm going to show you what I'm doing, how I tested it out before I said, yes, let's do this. Now, before we do that, I do have to say, yes, I am affiliated with AEjuice now. All opinions are going to be of my own. So if I say anything about AEjuice, good or bad, that's my opinion, not AEjuice's opinion. And of course, if you want to get any of these packs, all you have to do is go over to the geekazine.com/AEjuice. That'll take you right to that page that I showed you right there. Let's take a look at how AEjuice works and how I'm working on a video that will incorporate some of these cool transitions. So we're starting here. I'm on my Premiere Pro. Now, like I said, you can use Premiere Pro, you can use After Effects. It's also perfect for DaVinci Resolve. And we're just gonna focus on Premiere Pro right now. This is the latest version of Premiere Pro, September of 2025. So if you're watching this now, you can always ask, hey, how is it now? How is it in September of 2026? And I'll respond in the comments below. So go ahead and ask that question there. As you can see, I've put a couple on already in my timeline, but to get to that, all you have to do is go up to Window. Once you've installed it and registered, logged in and everything like that, you go up to Window, you go over to Extensions, and you go over to AEjuice Extensions, and that brings up the AE pack here. Let's expand this a little bit so you can see. You'll go to this home page to begin with, and within this home page, as you can see, there's all the packs that you have. Let's just bring it out here. There's tons of stuff. We've got Halloween coming up, so I got some Halloween packs down here. That's going to give me some graphics for Halloween if I use them, but I can do some really cool transitions. This is one right here, little glitch transitions. We've got another set of transitions, as you can see, have some fun little ideas back and forth. And like I said, I've already put a few of them on, and we'll show you how this all works in a second here. Let's close this out. We're just going to show you the timeline. I'm reviewing a PTZ camera, the Zowie PTZ camera, a 4K camera, great camera to use. And of course, creating the unboxing and setup in the simple timeline. So what I do is I just do this main record, and then I will do the post edits, taking out all the ums and all the mistakes that I make. No, I don't make mistakes. Let's come back here, and we're going to start with this first one. I just basically did a switch, and we'll mute this like this. And I just did a switch from camera 1 to camera 2, which is my over-the-shoulder camera. Pretty straightforward, easy. So now I went into AEjuice and put in a little transformation with audio. So now it does this fun little thing right here with an audio. So it'll go. The Zowie Tech, it is the 4K. It has like a little whoosh for the sound. As you can see, a simple little transfer as opposed to a jump cut like this. The Zowie Tech makes a big difference in creating anything. So I was really impressed on that. And it's many different options for that. And I'll show you them in a minute here. Here's another cut I did. I think at this point what I did was I did make a small mistake and I had to restart what I said. Basically switched it over to I had it switch over to the other camera, took out what was wrong, and then of course made this fun little 5X camera. And we're going to open it up and take right there. basically some of the transitions that you can, there's many different transitions that you can do from there. Next, I wanted to play with some of the lower thirds. So I went into the YouTube lower thirds and created this. Let's just mute this. There we go. As you can see, that's a YouTube lower third. It's got my picture, it's got my name, it's got my Twitter handle in there, everything that you need. They're all customizable. They're Mogerts. If you need to change the name, you need to change the graphic or whatever. Very, very easy to do. All you have to do is go into the properties on the, like right here, we'll go here, and then we go to the properties, which is right here. There's the image. And of course, the end result being fun little lower third, which I can save and use for other projects. Now I can create a template with all these effects and everything like that and bring it in. As long as I have it installed on the computer, the AEjuice, and of course logged in and everything like that. So, all right, let's get back here. Let's show you some of the next ones here. The next one you kind of saw, there was a little glitch. Once again, we switched between cameras, so I decided to use a transition for that in a glitch. I have this glitch transition going into a lower third. And I could put more into it, and I just had fun. A little one in the properties. I put in my image, my Geekazine logo image, text, and of course the font that I wanted, and then the font size, bold, so I can make that a lot bigger. So it shows that there's this lower third. Let's say I want to go from here. So basically this is my support the channel area. I'd like to thank all my Patreons, or go to venmo.com/Geekazine to tip me, things like that. Amazon.com/shop/Geekazine. Now I created a Mogart for that, but now I could actually create a new type of Mogart that has all of this in here. But in this case, I think we're just going to do a quick transition from this scene right here to this scene right here. Simple as that. So basically I have the playhead queued up right in between those, and I'm going to come back up to Window, and I'm going to come to Extensions and AEjuice Plugin Manager. There we go. We'll expand that a little bit. We don't need too much, and we're going to try and find some really cool transition to use. And we'll use these transitions. This is seamless transitions right here. And when I click on it, it downloads the transitions. I've already downloaded it, so it was pretty quick for me, but it might take a couple seconds to download for you. And then you can see all of the cool transitions using a simple A/B right there. So this one is film burns. We've got film leaders. So if you want to have something like this come in, you can definitely do that. We've got film tape, so that brings that in. We've got flares and a lot more. Now, keep in mind, what this is transitioning to is one scene, one solid scene, to a dual scene. So in this scene right here, I'm going to close this for a second. In this scene right here, we have two clips, and there's me on the side, and then of course my support the channel information on the other side. So if I go like this and I go back in here, and we go to these, and I'm going to expand this to see all of the ones we have, because you can see all of these cool transitions, these flares and everything like that. And we were going to go to film tape. I think I'm going to use that. So let's see. We've got a lot of cool options here, but I want to have something that looks like a film strip. So I'm going to use this one right here. I'm just going to hit the download button. And of course, it's going to download the files, because if it tried to download all of AEjuice onto your computer, it's going to take forever, and it's going to take a lot of space. But it caches these files in here. So now we can go in, it's importing it right now. It's going to take a minute to do it, because now what it's doing, it's seeing the two scenes that it has to work in between. And in this case, it has to work between a scene that's actually two parts to it. So now we have that. Let's get this out of the way. And we've got the film scene. So as you can see, boom, like that. We're going to slowly look at the transition. Now, notice how it's using that first shot, and it's doing the film strip, and it's bringing in the second shot, which is right there. And it's using both tracks for that shot. So this is the end result right here. Set this up. First of all, I do have to say that Zowie Tech does have a little film strip sound effect. Makes it easy, makes it fun on what I need to do. Let's mute that again. And I can then continue from here. So now I can start getting into this, and I can start really working some of these jump cuts maybe. Like for instance, right here, this is a jump cut where I was pulling stuff out of the box And there's another jump cut. I basically took out all the fillers, so all the ums and ahs that came from there. So what we want to do, let's see what split does. There's the splits. Okay, as you can see, it's got a fun little split right there. Let's bring it down a little bit, see what we got. And then some different, let's do this one right here. This is it basically splits it up and then splits and then moves it to the other. I don't know what technically that is. It just says sources M. So it's going to download that and it's going to put that into the system here. There we go. So it's important. Yeah, it is important that you'll have a decent internet connection as you're doing this. So we're going to do this. And like I said, I always like to save this because it seems to run better after it's been saved. And then we'll just slow motion through it, just jog wheel it. And that's what's going to happen right there. Nice little split. So let's see how it works. Plate. So if you want to mount it on a wall or a ceiling, you have this right here. This becomes the squirrel that brings them right back to the video. Squirrel! Squirrel! And this is a great way to keep people's attention because it's something new and something exciting that just happened. Let's take a look at some of the other features that we can put into here. So we're going to go back to the home page and I'm just going to look for, I can do music for video. There's even some AI stuff in here as well. So we've got music for video and we've got vintage typography. So if I want to like make a movie poster or something like that, I can do that. So let's do that really quick. Let's have this download. And now I kind of like this Showtime thing right here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, there we go. I'm just going to hit the download button and have it download. So that is the graphic right there. And of course I can change that completely. Just basically saying mind-blowing, let's go, wow. And we'll leave that there. And then there's text that says 19. I don't see the 19, but that might be in a different part of the graphic here. Let's save this once again. Let's just run it as it is and see what it looks like. Let's get use this for things like going in the conference room or anything like that. If you need like Zoom calls or Teams calls or whatever. Let's take a look at. That's not totally there yet, but it's still trying to render it all out. All right, there we go. Mind-blowing, wow. And then it's going to expand the next one. So as you can see, some of these, depending on your computer, depending on how much memory you have in there, it might be fast or slow. Graphic card as well. So we can say quality vintage design, or we'll say, what a great item. And then we won't put in this last text. We won't put in that 19 either. There we go. We can change the colors, of course, the red and the text colors. And then the background, I'm looking for that. We can turn the background on or off. We'll just turn the background off. And as you can see, just simply everything that you would get for whatever you're doing, you can totally customize it because this is a Mogurt. Now I have this that will just go, wow, what a great team. And if I was to render this part only, let's go ahead and do that to show you how that works. And we'll mark in and we'll go over here and we'll mark out. And then I'll just go boop like that. And we're just doing the source in and out. So let's go ahead and do that. I always go through Media Encoder to do my renders. And we're going to see that in a minute. This is what it rendered into. And so this is what you would see in a video. By the way, you can use this for things like going in the conference room or anything like that. It took about 4 minutes to render that small part. So the more extra graphics you put in, the longer time it's going to take to post render everything. I'm going to be putting that, and you're going to be starting to see that in my videos going forward as we go from there. And of course, if you want to get your own, we have the link down below. That's geekazine.com/AEjuice. That's it for me. That is AEjuice. I'm really happy to have them on board. Tell me, do you use AEjuice? Let me know in the comments below. What's your favorite one? And show me some of the transitions. Point to those YouTube channels, exactly, do the timestamp YouTube link to show me exactly how you use your AE transitions. And we'll talk about that in future episodes. For now, my name is Jeffrey Powers. Thanks a lot for watching. You can find me over at youtube.com/Geekazine, where you can like, subscribe, comment, and of course that bell notification so you know when the next video comes out. Until then, you guys geek on and try AEjuice.